YouTube, man. YouTube, you're breaking my balls. You're breaking my balls. Busting. You're busting. Let me know if we are back, people. I apologise. Let's get back into it. The Donnarumma news with United and Chelsea. We ain't going to stop tonight. YouTube ain't stopping us like that. So, as I said, first and foremost, let's get the likes back up. It was a technical issue. We're going to talk proper football again now. So, as I said, Donnarumma to Manchester United. What are we saying here, people? Because for me, here's where I lie with this situation. As I said, we could go out there balls deep and we could go and we could pay the money and we could say, do you know what? Absolutely fine. We want this guy at the club. That's no problem. But my issue is, are we sacrificing everything that we were talking about for the last few weeks with Donnarumma? Are we sacrificing the fact that we are trying to do things the right way? All for the fact that we've got a goalkeeper here who we know is world class. There's no denying he's world class. Or are we willing to make that change and stick with the Le Mans signing? Because for me, like I said, head and heart. My head says we go and we get Le Mans because that's my head thinking. My heart says let's go and get one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Fuck what everybody else says. I can't do it. I just can't do it though. If we go out and get Donnarumma and we absolutely blitz our payroll, we blitz the wages, then I think what we're doing essentially is we are just completely forgetting all of the hard work we've put in. And the other question that's not been asked of this yet, the other question is this. Are Barada, are Wilcox, Vivell, people like that, are they willing to make the sacrifice in bringing this player in to upset what they've been building from before? And Chappie's absolutely right. Is it going against Manchester United's policies here? Are Manchester United making the same mistake that we have made for years and years and years? Because I will say this about Donnarumma. We've seen this story played out so many times at Manchester United. We've gone from the Paul Pogba days, okay, of overspending to get this bloke in, and he turns out to be minimal at best with us, never reached his potential with us. Even the second time around was just hit and miss. We obviously had Di Maria. Di Maria was a mercenary. He didn't even want to come to Manchester United, but we had to have him for a season, spent loads of money and paid him loads of money, and he ended up completely upsetting the apple cart. Who else have we got there? We've got there's so many players. Even within the last few months, you could put fucking Rashford in there for overpaying what we're doing. So are Manchester United falling back into the same routine of getting these players in, overpaying the odds, and then ruining what they're building in the background? So for me, I don't see it. I don't see Manchester United being foolish enough to do that again. And yes, Amorim has been reported to want him, but I'm not sure, I'm not sure. We talk about Barada having an influence. We talk about Wilcox having an influence. If I was them, and I've got Amorim coming to me saying, look, he's one of the best keepers in the world. Bring him to me. I need this player on the books. I need this player to go out there and do something for me. I'm absolutely saying to him, no, absolutely not. You stay in your lane. We've brought you some players that you want. This guy is not the guy. If we are doing it the right way, we must sign Le Mans, says Andy. Ahmad says, who's closer, Man United or Chelsea? Well, at the moment, there's no real news on who is the closest. There's no real news because some will have you believe that Manchester United, because we've been interested for the longest time, would do it. Others would have you believe that Chelsea, because of their pull of being Champions League, because of them being world champions, have a step on United. So for me, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Some would say it's 50-50 at the moment. But for me, again, I don't think it should be. I think United should focus on getting Le Mans in for much less money. I think that's the first thing. And Baleba is the guy we want. If this happens as well, the Donnarumma news is going to be like Sesko. This isn't going to be one that we're rolling on, 3 weeks today. It will literally be a case of, here we go. It will be that. United put bid in, Chelsea put bid in. But then I go back to it. Do we want to be involved in this bidding war? Do we want to be involved in this agent getting as much as he can for his player? I think not. I absolutely think not. Yes, guys, make sure you are joining the fantasy football. As I said, what I am going to do, there will be a prize announced. I've got a couple of ideas with it this season. A couple of ideas for my loyal people who have joined me, especially after the fucking last stream fucked up. I've got ideas. I'll release more about that on Sunday. Never says maybe if we give him 180k plus bonuses. It's doable. It's doable, but I don't think he's about that. Like I said before, the other stream fucked up for me. If Donnarumma comes out and says, I want to play for this great club, I want to be a part of it rising, I want to play for 150, 200k a week, go out and do it, United. You have my full blessing, not that you care. But if this player is expecting us to go out there and spend 250k, 300k, 350k with a signing on bonus, we walk away. We do the Craig David and we walk away. Simple as a latter. Moxie says, Ineos with Barada and Wilcox will not break this new structure. It's a long-term policy. The only thing that concerns me about this, Moxie, is United seem to be the best at doing PR. They absolutely do. We are a PR's dream because we go out there and we say what we're going to say and we bring all of the, it's okay, it's fine. This is the way Manchester United are doing it from now on. But I haven't heard anything from the ownership. I haven't heard anything from Barada and co to come out and dispel the fact that we would be willing to break the wage budget for this. And that concerns me a little bit. That concerns me. It's probably one player we should pay him, though. 26, he'll give us a long career and still wants us to win, and still gets us to win the Prem and Champions League. Fuck, Jamie, we are miles away from that, mate. Miles and miles away from Champions League. We've got to get back in the fucking thing first. Look who's in the house, Mrs. Robinson. Phil, good evening to you, my friend. Good evening. Guys, as well, we had a dodgy start to the last stream. We had to quickly flip it over. Make sure you're liking the stream for me and make sure that you are subscribing if you are new. He is surprisingly... Nah, he's not on 210 a week, Moxie. Surely not. How much is Donna? I think he's on more than that. I've seen reports up to fucking... So yeah, Donnarumma salary. I don't know why it's giving me giving me fucking bananas. 12.5 million a year. 12.5 million. What is that? I can't even maths tonight. See, some people are saying 500k. Evening or yes, there we go. Listen to what Mrs. Robinson's saying. If you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe. We had a dodgy start, but you know something? This channel doesn't stop with a dodgy start. We keep going. We don't stop. Red Times says, hi, mate. I don't know what the problem is, but there is a weakness no matter what players we sign. Always get dominated. Is it because of Bruno or just the way United is set? We simply can't dominate. Look, Red Times makes a very good point there. I'd like to think we're building to stop this. But if you look back to the game against Fiorentina, the silly same old problems kept creeping in. With the silly mistakes that we've been making kept creeping in. Manchester United struggling at the back. The set piece play defending was horrendous. But the only way we're going to do better is if we bring in better players. Now, we will talk about one individual just now because I kind of feel like this needs speaking about. This needs speaking about because it has absolutely fucking infuriated me. And it is the news today that this boy here, and I will call him a boy, this boy here has apparently said either Chelsea or I stay here and I don't play football for 6 to 12 months. That's from Fabrizio Romano. The other part of Fabrizio Romano has said that Alejandro Garnacho's move to Chelsea is progressing. The player is very keen to get the move agreed. A fee of around 50 million should lead to the move being completed in the coming weeks. Let me tell you something right now. Okay? Let me tell you something right now. Let me get him off the screen. Alejandro Garnacho, listen to me when I say this. Listen to me. If you think for 1 second that Manchester United are going to be held to ransom with you making these stupid threats of either I go to Chelsea or I don't play football for 6 to 12 months. If you think that Manchester United are that club that are going to go, we better fucking sell him then. He ain't happy. You got to wake up and smell the coffee, son, because I'm telling you something now. Manchester United do not this season give a fuck about your empty threats. Manchester United have done the right things this season in bringing the players, that they want to take your position, by the way. Garnacho was on top of the world after the FA Cup final. He had just scored a goal in the FA Cup final. At his age, the world was at his feet. And then do you know what happened? He did what Garnacho does best. He did what Garnacho does best. He became a moron. He viewed himself as the next Ronaldo. He viewed himself as a player at his age with his inexperience that was bigger than the club. He viewed himself as someone, because of a scissor kick against Arsenal, against Everton, as somebody that is a big, big, big player. Well, I got news for you. And I want to read this out to you, right? David Beckham, Van Nistelrooy, Roy Keane. What, chat, do they have in common? David Beckham, Roy Keane, and Van Nistelrooy. What have they all got in common for Manchester United? What have they all got in common? Pop it in the chat. What have they all got in common? You'll be surprised with this. Garner has been vaping, getting his new tattoo. Melt, absolute fucking melt, niche fan. With Rashford off the books get Sancho and Garnacho gone will be good. It will be good towards Donnarumma and Baleba. Absolutely, let him rot on the bench. He's only on 50k. He needs to. Niche fan, I'm pinning that because that is a great fucking point, by the way. He needs to grow up. Very immature. Let him rot and wave goodbye to the World Cup next year, says Andy. Yeah, this is it. He's not good enough to lace Ronaldo's boots. And yes, Chappie is right. David Beckham, Roy Keane, Van Nistelrooy, they were all let go by Sir Alex Ferguson because they were deemed to be a problem for the club. They were deemed to be an issue for what Sir Alex Ferguson wanted to do with that group of players. They were deemed an issue for the squad and the whole harmony with the players around it. Now, Roy Keane's story is completely different, isn't it? You know, if you hear Roy Keane, he says it was this. Sir Alex Ferguson says it was this. David Beckham, my hero, absolute idol, courted fame far too much. Wasn't what Sir Alex Ferguson wanted. Van Nistelrooy fell out with Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo was viewed as a player who did and would have go on to be a Manchester United legend. Garnacho. There have been club legends that have been let go by this club. There have been club legends that have been surplus to requirements and not been an afterthought. So what makes you think for 1 second, for one iota of a second, that Manchester United are going to be quaking in their boots, that these threats, I'll just stay here for 6 to 12 months. Mate, you're on 50 grand a week. 50 grand a week, which in the circumstances, as Nietzsche fan said here, in the circumstances that we see players we're trying to get rid of, 50k a week is no problem, mate. If I'm Manchester United now, if we can get Baleba done without Garnacho's money, and if we can bring in Le Mans without Baleba's money, I am absolutely letting that little shit rot in the reserves. I would make him train for the next 12 months at 5 o'clock every day. Because I will tell you something right now. Manchester United might be in an issue at the moment where we are coming back from the worst season we've seen in the Premier League. But I'll tell you another thing. Manchester United will go on. Garnacho, you will be an afterthought. You will be a smudge, a stain on the memory of Manchester United. And when I hear you say, oh, sell me or I'm going to stay here and I'll just stay here for 6 to 12 months, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I honestly don't know what the fuck you're talking about or who you think you are. But I'm absolutely sick. I cannot wait for this group of players, this group of idiots that think that they are bigger than any football club to leave my club. Sancho, we hear rumours of Roma. The rumours about Inter Milan have come back today. Yeah, brilliant. In hindsight, be great. Be great if we could get rid of him. Malacia, I mean, I ain't got an issue with Malacia. He's just not good enough. Anthony, another one that everybody went, oh, he's a nice guy. He wants to take a pay cut. Yeah, get in the bin, mate. If you're holding out for Betis because you want to go back there knowing that they can only get you on loan, you're another one, mate. You're another one. Say no to Betis, leave it till the last day of the season, send him on loan to fucking Wigan for all I care. We cannot go on with this group of players being involved in this club. We cannot. We saw some reports of Brian and Cunha saying, "Oh, he's a good lad. Get him back in the squad." Nah, your time is up. Your time is now. Get the fuck out. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been so angry at a player. I genuinely don't. As Chappie says, he needs to grow up, very immature. Andy says, let him rot and wave goodbye to the World Cup next year. This is another thing. Like, that kid will absolutely think he's going to the World Cup. And I don't think it could be any farther from the truth, if I'm honest. He is nowhere near the World Cup. He is nowhere near good enough to be in that Argentina squad. He's not good enough to lace Ronaldo's boots. Plus, Sir Alex Ferguson's biggest mistake was to let go of Jaap Stam. Yeah, I agree. He come out and said that, but Jaap Stam did release a book, didn't he? Andy says, question is, have Chelsea made a bid yet? Well, this is the thing, Andy. Chelsea, which is quite funny, actually. Chelsea want Xavi Simons for 70 million. If they're linked to Donnarumma for 20, 30 million, you better believe that Manchester United do have a bit of a one-upmanship here, because Manchester United now can essentially say to Chelsea, you either spend the money on Garnacho, which is 50 million, we ain't moving, or go out and buy Donnarumma. Go out and buy him. You won't have Garnacho. Manchester United have to act the right way here. They absolutely have to act the right way, because actually, for once, and I don't know if this will ever happen again with Manchester United, so forgive me for my pessimism here. For once, Manchester United, in a transfer for one of our players, hold all the fucking cards. They are sat there at the poker table with two aces, yeah? They hold all the cards because we do not have to sell this kid to get him off the wage bill. The only reason we would have to sell this kid is if we genuinely need it to get the Baleba deal done. Now, if we do have to get the Baleba deal done with this money, well, then it changes everything. But I go back to what was spoken about on the last stream. Manchester United apparently have that extra money that they can use. So if it was me, I would be making this kid sweat. I would absolutely. And let me tell you this as well. For all the chess that he's bringing out here about I'll stay here for 6 to 12 months and do nothing. If he doesn't go by the transfer window's deadline day, I would not be at all surprised if a statement is released a week later saying Garnacho's had a change of heart, wants to get his head down, wants to get back into the squad. Big headline. You can just see it. Garnacho apologises to Rúben Amorim. The problem he has is I genuinely feel like Rúben Amorim is the type of guy that holds a grudge. And I think he would absolutely be like, nah, lad, you said all that shit. You wore your Villa shirt with Rashford on the back. You come out on 3 weeks before the window ended and said, I either go to Chelsea or nothing at all. Nah, off you go, in the bin. Fergie ushered them out the door, same with Jaap Stam too, says Ben. Another thing they've all got in common, they're all way better than the vaping melt Garner. I completely agree. That's why I like Amorim, because he's letting them go. He's getting them gone. If it was other managers, they would bend over backwards for him. And Jamie makes a great point here, because Manchester United have been famed for so long in begging players to stay. Please don't leave. Please. You know, even with Pogba towards the end, it was, is he going to sign? Please sign. We've got to get past that. We've absolutely got to get past that, because players like Garnacho, there are, I can guarantee you now, probably 30 players in academies across England that are better than Garnacho. Garnacho's just an attitude that needs slapping down, I'm telling you. Veron was another one. Believe they can get Garnacho on the cheap. Fuck Chelsea. Let the spoiled egomaniac little twat rot. Yes, Siak, good to see you, my friend. Hope you are well. And guys, let's make sure we're smashing the likes. As I said, we had to jump from the other stream because I don't know why it glitched again, which is really weird because we've had a good run. We've had a very, very good run. But who cares? The people are here. We're still here. We're still going on. And Never says 40 million for Garnacho is enough for me. He should just go. We could use the money. Okay. Red Times says it'd be more a power move if United were to buy Baleba, Donnarumma, and then if Garnacho, Anthony, and Sancho don't go, then we put them in the reserves for a whole year and make them miss the World Cup. Do you know something? If this was plausible financially, if this could be done, I would be that petty. I would extend Sancho's career for another season, and I would say to him, you're stuck here for 2 years and you're going to do nothing. Garnacho, I'd have him cleaning the bins around the training room. Do you remember what kids used to be like, these young up-and-coming footballers? Do you remember how they prided themselves on being brought up the right way and acting the right way? This kid, man, this kid. And yes, more likes are needed. Make sure we're getting the likes going. Chelsea are crazy if they think they can lowball us. United really lose nothing by keeping him in the reserves. I agree with this. Honestly, Mike Willie, I completely agree. I'm so glad we're all on the same fucking page here. And I actually think that letting him rot in the bench sends a clear, profound message to others there who think they can take the Michael. It's better than selling him. Like I've said, Manchester United, for once, hold all the cards with Garnacho. Garnacho, if this was 12 months ago, would have got his wish. Would have absolutely got his wish because they'd have gone, just get rid of him. I think United are in the power play here and we teach this little shit a lesson. Honestly, there's news on this. I've got a panel show with a few familiar faces on Thursday night with predictions for the Premier League. You might recognise a few from a certain Monday night. That's all I'm going to say. And Isaac says, "Hi Dan, I'm here now. Sorry, a bit late. Couldn't turn over from Wolfie and D's confrontation. I'll have to have a look at that, by the way. I'll have to have a look at that because I can't miss stuff like that." Mike says, "They also make an example with Anthony too because he really wants this Betis move and they don't even like him like that." Betis at the moment think they've got it all sewn up with Anthony. They think they've got it all sewn up with Anthony. They think we'll just play the waiting game. We'll get him on loan. He's another one that Manchester United, for me, I think, just say, nah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Definitely not. We don't do that anymore. We don't do that anymore. Steve says, almost forgotten about Garnacho before today's news, Dan. He can sit and play FIFA with Sancho for all I care. Here's where I have here's my thing on Sancho. And this is a really good comment by Steve. Let me ask you all a question. A simple question in the chat. And I want you to be honest. If you're a United fan, if you're a rival fan, if any of you have caught United's games in pre-season, have Manchester United for 1 second this pre-season looked at all like we have missed Garnacho? Have Manchester United looked at all like we are desperate for Garnacho to get back into this side? Have Manchester United looked at all like the players are going, they miss Garnacho? I don't think so at all. And I go back to what Luke Shaw said. Luke Shaw said this in the summer. He said this in America. Manchester United now are in a space with the players where everybody is getting on. The toxicity is leaving the club. I genuinely think if I'm a United player, I look at the way Garnacho's been acting and I go, I am so glad this little prick's gone. Who does he think he is? He's talking like he's a veteran of the game of 10 years. Absolutely not. And yes, there are flip sides. There are flip sides here. Manchester United, without even realising it, could, of course, in 5 years' time go, Garnacho is nominated for the Ballon d'Or. We sold him for 50 million to Chelsea. He's now worth 150 to. That could happen. Of course it could. But I go back to what I say about these players, okay? These players, you have to be one of the elite, to be one of the most elite players in the world, you have to have two things. You have to have world-class ability. That is the first one. But the most important one is you have to have world-class mentality. That's why Messi was what he was, still is. That's why Ronaldo was what he was, still is. That's why Roy Keane was what he was. That's why Steven Gerrard was what he was. That's why Frank Lampard was what he was. That's why John Terry was what he was. The list goes on of these world-class players. That is what the problem is. He doesn't have the both. He doesn't have both of them. It's simple. He doesn't have both of them. What he has is a cocky attitude, and I don't actually feel like we need that anymore. What's this here? Isaac says, I think it's time you get yourself on the 12th man. A bit of calm, honesty, and realism is exactly what they need. Honestly, it broke my heart watching them tonight. It broke my heart watching them. Watching them tonight and thinking to myself, I should be on there. I should absolutely be on there telling Billy where he's going wrong. Calling out fucking Pete. It was horrible. I even spent a £5 to get my chat in there because they wouldn't reply. What else have we got here? Let's go through some more of these comments. We've got a Potts raid coming, apparently. That would be great. I wouldn't let these three guys anywhere near our kids' academy, says Subra. Dodgy there. Not a chance. They'll be relieved to not have him here. Manchester United absolutely will be relieved. The players will be relieved to not have this kid there anymore. Mike says, I think United are actually in a better position without the bomb squad. You can see now the good energy around the club and players. Jamie Harvey says, we look stronger without him. And United are better off without Garnacho. Disgusting attitude and honestly think he is overrated and it's all gone to his head. Queen Sophie, as always, saying, missed you on. I missed it too, Soph. Honestly, I missed it too. I genuinely, it's not been the same. It's not been the same. But I tell you something, United I'll be back on that show by Christmas. I'm telling you. No, we don't need that melt. We've got Cunha and Brian. Let him and his brother go to a vape, go and get a vape in a tattoo parlor. Look, I don't want to dwell too much more on him, but what I will say is this. Whereas Manchester United are in a situation this summer where we are trying to get players out the door, I don't think any of us can actually sit here and say the players we're trying to get out the door are players that we will miss. And that, as much as it's a struggle for us to get these bozos out the club, I genuinely feel like we are in such a positive place because of that. The fact that we have got a manager that is willing to say, you go fuck off over there. You don't come to this club till 5 o'clock. You don't come until we've all left the fucking building. That is a place where Manchester United have needed to be in such a long time. Such a long time. As arrogant as they said Ronaldo was, he actually had respect for the club and most importantly, sport as a whole. Well, Ronaldo, when he left, I mean, look, when Ronaldo left, it was a tough one because I was Ten Hag. So I was like, nah, screw him. But everything he said in that interview, if you go back and rewatch the interview with Ronaldo, he called out absolutely everything. He called it all out. And we sat there. It was a weird situation. A couple of years later, I thought, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck? How did we let this guy go? And Niche Fan says, I actually dislike Garnacho more than Sancho at this point. There was no way that Garnacho can fit in this team. Even Manu is struggling to fit in. And got the 12th man on my TV now. D and Wolfie starting up again almost. Honestly, Wolfie and D, this because context for that, people. The reason we've got that is because Palace have been kicked out of the Europa League. They've gone into the Conference League. Wolfie obviously is now in to the Europa League. So it's absolute mayhem there. Absolute mayhem. But again, I miss those boys. Do miss those boys. Rumor. Dan used the wrong link for the raid. No, he didn't. I tell you what the problem was. We fucked up because we had to do a different stream, which was, annoying at best, which is a shame. But anyway, the next news I want to go on to then, guys, we've got the Baleba links as well. We've still got more Baleba stuff to talk about. I can't believe that we're still talking about this, but here we are. So Manchester United, this is from Romano. Manchester United plan new talks for Carlos Baleba in the upcoming days. Man United believe that Baleba is keen on the move and personal terms won't be an issue. Now, contacts follow on Brighton side as deal remains very difficult, but United will try. So here's the other thing I want to talk about with this. Now, we know, and by the way, big up, Jeff. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Mr. Napster says, I'm in dreamland. If we get Donnarumma, it will definitely make a Baleba. Andy, I will do some polls. It was just after the fucking glitch we had before. It was a nightmare. Don't worry. We'll do some in the bit. I'd rather have Baleba than Caicedo, says Sia. Anyway, let's go back. I'm waffling there. With Baleba, there's an interesting stat I want to read to you all. And it is when he played Manchester United last season. So in the games against Manchester United last season, we had the following. He had 46 touches, 28 passes attempted, 22 passes completed, 6 take-ons, 5 ball recoveries, 2 fouls committed, 2 fouls won, 2 tackles, 1 chance created, 1 free assist. And here's the thing. He was not dribbled past once. Manchester United, if you are listening, let me come into the mic for this. Manchester United. I'm telling you now, you have to go and get this done. There is a feeling growing amongst people, the journalists in the world, that if Manchester United miss out on this transfer this season, it would completely and utterly go piss up next season. Because next season, Man City would go in, Chelsea would go in, Liverpool would go in, I feel like if Manchester United fuck this up, and I can't believe I'm saying that about Baleba, but Manchester United just need to go and pay the money. They absolutely need to go and pay the money. I think they're all going to the other one. It's pissed me off, that has. It's pissed me off, but what can you do? Jason Carter, howdy Dan, hope you're well, mate. I have a feeling United will be a problem again this season. I'm telling you, Manchester United are starting to ruffle a few feathers when it comes to the rival fans. Absolutely ruffling feathers. Because I watched on the 12th Man show tonight, they were talking about Villa. Villa have done nothing this season. If there's a club straight away that I look at and I say, Manchester United have a chance of turning that around, it's in place of Villa. There were 8 teams on that race for Europe tonight. There was Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa, Forest. Who else was there? Liverpool, Spurs. 8 teams. 8 teams. I'm telling you something now. Manchester United can absolutely be in that argument for Europe this season. If we get a Baleba in and we sort the goalkeeper out, I honestly feel like Manchester United can go and attack that group of 8. Absolutely. 9 teams. Who am I missing, Queen Sophie? Who am I missing? Did I miss Arsenal out? I think I missed Arsenal out. No, I said Palace. I said Palace, guys. I said Palace. Either way, Manchester United this season, with the signings that we've made, with the signings that we're linked to, I actually feel like Manchester United have got the best chance that they possibly are going to have to go in there and build it up and break it up. Tell me I'm wrong. You tell me now, out of all those teams, right? Let's list them again. Let's list them again. Chelsea, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Newcastle, Villa, Forest, Spurs. Out of those 8 teams, are you telling me that Manchester United can't get in amongst that lot? I'm telling you, I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling absolutely confident that Manchester United have enough about them to do that this season. We need Baleba ASAP. The fact that they hyped us up about it, it's only right that they pull the trigger. Mikey, you're right. The thing with this is Manchester United and transfers, there's no smoke without fire this season. When Manchester United have been linked with players, look at how it's been done. This Baleba transfer is going the exact same way as Brian and as Sesko. It's going the exact same way. We've got the flirting, okay? It's like the courtsmanship. We've got the flirting at the moment. United appreciate him as a player. United have spoken to the agent. United have agreed terms with the player. They're happy with that. That's the flirting. And then what comes after that is simple. Manchester United put the bid in. It's not enough. Okay, Manchester United come back and put another bid in. I honestly feel like a lot of Brighton fans will be worried that Manchester United are going to get this done. Baleba and Donna make us a top 6 to top 4 team, in my opinion. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a Baleba. I'm not sure about this one. I don't think I'm putting him in my team, to be fair. Le Mans better prospect than Merchant Donna. Yeah, I get you. Santos. I don't think they need to go straight in with cash. No one else is targeting Baleba. I think United can take their time to get the best deal. This one, in my opinion, I may be wrong though. You make a great point there, Isaac, and it is true. Manchester United, like I said yesterday, for some reason, for one of the top talents in, let's face it, European football, Baleba is well courted across Europe. Nobody else is going in for this player because they can't, because they've all gone in early on and got their business done. Chelsea have gone and got their business done. They're still waiting for Garnacho, of course. Arsenal have gone and got their business done. Zubamendi, Gyökeres, Madueke. City have gone and got it done. City have gone and got their business. They started straight away. Liverpool went and got their business done. Manchester United, weirdly, have just gone, and then they've gone, and they're absolutely racing for it now. So I feel like it's strange to say this, but Manchester United absolutely cannot fuck this deal up. Let's get a poll on. I think let's try and get a poll on. I tell you what, let's hope this doesn't glitch again. If it does, I'll be fuming. Let's go. Let's go with Baleba. No, we won't. We've done Baleba. Let's go with what we were talking about before. Donnarumma. To who? I want to see, because we glitched before, I want to see what you're saying. Where is Donnarumma going, chat? Is he going to Chelsea or is he going to Man United? Let me know in the chat. And by the way, make sure you like the video if you're new and make sure you subscribe. I want to make sure that we are hitting the numbers tonight. Absolutely want to make sure we're hitting the numbers tonight. I've got 2 fucking streams going here, man. Oh, no, I haven't. Don't worry. That one ended. Yes, right. So anyway, Niche Fan says City are targeting Baleba. They'd be stupid not to, but I kind of fit. Don't say that, Kev. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. We don't need that right now. I do really think Wirt's price tag, he will be a flop. I don't think we can judge Wirtz at the moment. I don't think we can judge him at the moment. I think we have to give Wirtz some grace, to be honest, because he's played one Charity Shield game. That's it. We can't do that. We need to, like I've said before, Manchester United fans, listen to me when I say this. Let us not focus on other players. Let us not focus on what other players are doing at clubs. We have one thing to do now, and that is focus on our players at Manchester United. Okay? And yeah, Wirtz will be amazing. I completely agree with that. Why the fuck wouldn't Baleba go to United? The biggest club in the UK are calling you if you want to. It's simple. I'm serious, and you know I'm Arsenal. I'd take Baleba. Manchester United can't miss this up. They can't. They absolutely can't. Like I said, who else is in for him? United won't have this moment again. We won't have this moment again. You want a Wharton versus Baleba poll? We did that the other night, Tsunamis. We did that the other night, and Baleba absolutely dominated it. Absolutely dominated. Blowy, I'm good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm good. I'm good. I know, honestly, that's YouTube fucking me up tonight. YouTube have done me over with that. Joe Pedro at 7.5 is better value for money, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Let's have a quick look at this poll. Let's have a look at this poll, man. Okay, so straight away, it's quite damning. 62% are saying Donnarumma to Chelsea. 62% of you so far. Get your votes in. Get it done nice and quick. I want to know who you think Donnarumma is going to choose, Manchester United or Chelsea. Be interested to see what you got to say there. Steve says, of all the transfers in so far, I admit Baleba gave me the biggest smile when I heard. If it doesn't happen, it'll be like being kicked in the balls. And it absolutely will. It absolutely will. Sophie says, damn, with these signings, if you don't make Europe, will it be a failure? And will you have more FFP issues? I don't think we'll have FFP issues because the way that we've done it, the Brian deal was done over installments. That hasn't really had a chunk. The only big one's been Sesko. But I'll say this, and I will say this: if we get these signings, Manchester United not qualifying for Europe will be a horrendous failure. And I will tell you this now. If they don't get in Europe, Barada, Wilcox, Amorim, Vivell will have a lot to answer for. They will, because they will have gambled. They will have gambled and they'll have lost. This has to be a season of no excuses for Manchester United. Now, as Manchester United fans, we're not sat here saying we demand Champions League. We're not. We're saying it'd be great if we got Champions League. Yeah, fucking phenomenal. Get us Champions League. But Manchester United just have to get Europe. For 2 reasons. The first one is we have to do it to be better than last season. Last season was a joke. We can never, ever, ever have that happen again. But secondly, if Manchester United are on this trajectory with the players that they are bringing in, well, Champions League helps you attract more and more. It helps you attract bigger players. It helps the project that you're selling. Look, if Manchester United are attracting these players this summer with the project we're selling now, how much more enticing is it for these players when we've got Champions League to play? Instead of it being, yeah, come and sign for us. I promise you we'll be mint in a couple of years. That conversation then goes to, come to Manchester United. We are Champions League now. Simple, simple, simple. Kev says, I didn't believe we were getting other signers this season, so I will go with we won't get Baleba and just hope hope. All right, okay, he does look top. He does, he's incredible. Jamie says, this is where we need to sell Garnacho and Sancho and Casemiro gone to get Baleba. Guys, you know my thoughts on Casemiro. I still, with 3 weeks left, I still think there's absolutely a chance Casemiro leaves this club. I still think there is a chance of that. If we sign a Baleba in, he will know his chances of playing for Manchester United go lower and lower. And what comes with that is the fact he has worked hard to get back into the Brazil squad. And no matter how much to the point he's best mates with Ancelotti, he won't go to the World Cup unless he's playing. So I think he's in a catch-22 situation. Jeff says, get those likes in, folks. Yeah, make sure you do. Make sure you get those likes in. We had a terrible start tonight with that fucking glitch. And it's really sad because the 12-man lot were coming over for a raid and it's bollocksed it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Don't cry over spilt milk. And it's me, Everest. I forgot to say hello to you before, my guy. Dan, you must get at least Europa. I tell you what, I feel like let's change this chat up because the Donnarumma one's nice, blah 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 blah. Donnarumma to who we've said Chelsea 61%. Let's go with this. Let's go with this one. If Man United, and this will be interesting to know what you're thinking. If Man United only qualify for Conference League, we'll go. Let's make it interesting. With the players we sign, is it a failure? Nice and easy. So, if Manchester United only qualify for the Conference League with the players we sign, what I want to know, folks, is that going to be deemed a failure? Yes or no? Get yourself in there now. I want to see the votes on this. If United only qualify for Conference League with the players that we've signed and the ones we could potentially sign, would that be deemed as a failure? Be interesting to see what you're saying on that. Chappie says 55 watching, 34 likes. Hit the like. It's free. Yes, make sure you do. As I say, YouTube completely did us over before. And Sophie says, fair. And of course, you won't have FFP issues. You're a big six club. Come on now. Come on, girl. Jamie says, I really don't think Chelsea need a goalkeeper. They absolutely fucking do, Jamie. Honestly, I don't rate Sanchez at all. And Toonami's Oz says, not getting Champions League may ruin you financially. There are a lot of pluses and negatives. I think when it comes to us not getting Champions League, if we were to get Champions League, I think that would absolutely boost our transfer war chest for next summer. Because look, and Arsenal fans say about phases all the time, and I don't really want to go into that too much, but if this is the start of our phase of our rebirth here and us sorting ourselves out, this summer signing Cunha, Brian, Sesko, potentially Baleba, and a goalkeeper, 5 players that is a great start to sorting all of that out. Next summer then, it will have to be more changes. You will probably see new defenders. I reckon at least 2 centre-backs. I think they would then go for another midfielder as well. So Manchester United, to fix the mess that has been left for the last couple of years, are going to have to work twice as hard now to make sure that they can get where they need to be at the end of the season, Champions League, Europa League, to get the finances in. Don't forget, Manchester United also miss out on a windfall this season for being in European competition throughout the competition. They get money for if they have the most wins. They get money if they get further into the competition. All of this season, because we missed out last season, has had a knock-on effect. Ben says it's been a good transfer window, but now if we don't get Baleba after it being teased, it makes it seem like a bad one. Yes and no with that, Ben. It all depends on what Manchester United's plan B is. If Manchester United are going Baleba or bust, then yeah, I agree. It probably does feel like a kick in the bollocks because that central midfield needs sorting out so bad. It needs sorting out more than my fucking internet. Okay, and that's a big, big problem. Andy says, Dan, do you think we would be in a better position if we'd have sold Bruno? We've said this all the time. We've said this. I mean, to be fair, Andy, yeah, head and heart situation again. You know, my head said sell Bruno. My heart said keep him. He's our captain. He's done so well individually for us for the last few seasons. I made a mistake. We should have sold him. Absolutely should have sold him. Let me have a look. I'm trying to get through these bloody comments here. Isaac says, best team in the world, rephrased, but it's missing the rewording. Hope. Casemir, no. Fair enough. What's all the talk about being there these days, Dan? Steve, I'll tell you what the talk is about being there. Can't come for a cross, can't kick a ball. Absolutely shite. He's shite. He's shite. He's done. He's done. Be in there watching him in pre-season. Don't forget, be in there should have been playing out of his skin. This was his one opportunity to really try and win the United fans over, who already had so many worries about the way this keeper played. And he's been so poor. Like, his kicking long was absolutely atrocious. That was the definition of tennis football. Ball goes over, ball gets headed back. Ball goes over, ball gets headed back. Completely agree with the Casemiro comments. He's going to want to move ASAP. I do agree. I think it's quite an important point regarding Donnarumma. If he isn't happy at the best team in the world currently, why would he be happier elsewhere, especially on lower wages? Isaac, that is a great comment. That is a great comment. I didn't even think about it that way. That's a really, really good comment. Marnie United TV says, where will Rasmus end up? I think we all know, mate. I think he is heading to Milan. I think he'll be off to AC Milan. I genuinely don't think that Rasmus goes anywhere else. I genuinely don't. If we were playing crab football, I'd take Casemiro all day. This is the problem. Casemiro, this happens with footballers. We've all seen this so many times, guys and girls. We've seen players go on, and you think, oh, these guys are quality. They're never going to drop off. And then they hit that point and they fall like they're on a cliff. That's what's happened with Casemiro. That is absolutely what's happened with Casemiro. You cannot mistake this guy's passion. You cannot mistake it. There is nothing more I love than when you see Casemiro absolutely clatter a player and you go, go on, Cassie. But Manchester United has moved on from where we were when we signed Casemiro. Manchester United's hopes and needs have moved on from when we signed Casemiro. It's just the way football works. Absolutely trust the process, Siat. We've still improved by 8 places. Fair. You've already heard me say it, Dan. This is a bridging year. Massive compromises needed. From 15th to conference is still a massive improvement on last season. Let's have a look how this vote's getting on. Let's have a look. Where are we? The vote is on fire. 57% of you at the moment say it would be a failure if Manchester United were to not qualify, for the Conference League with this group of players. What I can also say, people, and I'm quite shocked at this, those likes are still in the 30s. If you haven't liked already, hit that like for me now. Hit. We had to start again. Let's make sure we get those likes up, people. No, not a failure. RE Conference League still need a right wing back and a goalie and a clear out of all spare number 10s. Steve, we've been begging for that to happen, but it just doesn't seem to. Mr. Napster says, no, it's not a failure. It's a process, but that may take time. I think the board and Amorim know this. Okay, let's look at it this way. If we go and get Baleba, that will take our spending, regardless of the fact Cunha's money was put on last year's accounts, 60, 120, 200. That'll take our spending without a goalkeeper to nearly 300 million, guys. If we get Baleba. 300 million, regardless of the fact that we were 15th, you have to be qualifying for Europa at the minimum. You have to be qualifying. And I would like to think that Barada and co will be saying this, because I think that's what good owners do. I think that's what good directors of football do. They turn around to the manager and they say, right, we've spent the money. We've got the players you want in. You wanted Baleba? We've just gone and got him. You wanted Cunha? Guess what? We got him. Brian, no problem. Sesko, he's here. Goalkeeper, pending. Now, Rúben, it's up to you to go and make sure that you show us that we've spent our money well. And you have to make sure that you're in the conversation for European football. I think Sophie agrees. I don't know how anyone can say it isn't a failure after spending like 300 million. I hope we get Le Mans over Donna. Something in my gut says Donna isn't worth it. A lot of people saying that tonight. Ronaldo knew anything less than UEFA Champions League for United is a disgrace. He was absolutely right. The biggest club in the world should be in the biggest competition. What do we reckon, chat? I might do a video about the Ronaldo interview. I might share some clips on there and just show just how right he was about things that have changed. I might do that. Your sponsorship fees are Champions League money dependent. Absolutely right there, Toonami Oz. And Shivang says, if fifth is Europa and sixth is conference, then honestly, no. I think from 15th to 6th is a jump. that we should be happy about. Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea better than us, clearly. Well, I mean, that's only 4, though, isn't it? That's only 4, Shivang. Fifth is, I think fifth is obtainable. I do think fifth is obtainable. And I don't think Queen Sophie and and Toonami Oz will mind me saying this, but whereas you look at Newcastle, yeah, okay, they're still trying to get business over the line, but I think United this summer have probably caught up to Newcastle a lot more than Newcastle fans and the coaching staff and the ownership would have liked to have admitted. We've strengthened the correct ways. If we get Baleba in, it changes the game. It moves the needle. It absolutely moves the needle. Isaac says, honestly, I really can't type today for some reason. Mate, I know how you feel. Chappie says Rome wasn't built in a day. Bring back Massimo Taibbi instead of Onana. Fucking hell. Hey, look, I'm going to say this, chat. I am more than happy to keep Onana on the books as the super agent that he is. But other than that, this guy got to go. This guy got to go. It's me, Everest says, by the way, chat, did you say that CR7 and Georgina got engaged? The ring is as... Yeah, by the way, I think Ronaldo's got some explaining to do because what was the old rule about engagement rings? Was it 3 months' salary? Fucking hell, if it was 3 months' salary, that'd be enough to buy a small country from Ronaldo. Binder is just another Bosnich. Wrong. I think Bosnich was better. I genuinely think Bosnich is better than Binder. 1 game a week and 300 million. If you get all the players, it's a failure if you only get conference. Sophie going straight in on that. I would take conference this season. We can win that, go Europa League, and then do it steadily and get stronger each year. I'm not saying it, chat, honestly. I'm not saying it. I think if Manchester United bring in Baleba and bring in a goalkeeper, we have to be I'll say it. We have to demand Europa League. Now, don't forget, Europa League can come in the form of a cup as well. So, for us to say that, Manchester United this season, I expect Manchester United to perform a lot better in the league. And I say a lot, I mean a lot. And I expect us to go deep in both of the cups. I think Manchester United absolutely have to go deep in these cups. Because for no European football, we need to get trophies this season. Trophies, if we got 5th place in a trophy or 6th place in a trophy, I would deem that a really successful season. And I've got no problem in saying that. On another note, I think Grealish to Everton could be a good piece of business. Mrs. Robinson fancies the fucking pants off Grealish. Fucking pants off. I had to buy her a City shirt for Christmas because it had Grealish on the back. And do you know what? I bought it against my best fucking thoughts because you know it's City and you don't do that. What happened? She's never worn it once. And now she won't because he's moved to fucking Everton. That woman, man. Marnie United says, I would make Garnacho rot in the reserves. What a spoiled brat. How are we doing with this? Because I want to do a poll on Garnacho. I do want to do a poll on Garnacho. I think it's only right that we do one. How are the votes looking? 32. Guys, there's 52 of you in here. Make sure you're smashing those likes. 56% of you say it would be a failure if United only qualified for Europa Conference League with the players we sign. And I agree with that. I do agree with that. Here we are. Let's have one more poll. Next poll. If Garnacho, and I think this is going to rile you because you know what my answer is. If Garnacho doesn't leave in the summer, is there a way back for him? Yes or no? Yes or no? If Garnacho doesn't leave in the summer, is there a way back for him? Be interested in this. I'd like to think this is going to be 100% no, but I don't know. People change their minds, don't they? Good night, Moxie. Thank you for sticking with me, and apologies for the stream at the start. Absolutely ruined me tonight. That has. The money would be in installments, says Siat. Yeah, you can't even see where the Titanic hit that ring. Love that. Why do ladies love bad boys so much? Mrs. Robinson. Why do you love bad boys so much? Obviously doesn't see me as a bad boy, does she? Fucking ridiculous. Recruitment has been good, but as we have seen with Chelsea in the past, it needs to click in the league. Yeah, absolutely right, Toonami Oz. Manchester United need to make sure that what they do now in this close season that they've got the players all singing from the same hymn sheet. Cunha's had flashes. Brian's had flashes. We haven't seen Sesko yet, but Manchester United absolutely do need to click into gear straight away. Absolutely, and it definitely is the calves, guys. Honestly, I wouldn't want to get them out on the screen, but my calves, monstrous. Bit late to have Mrs. Robinson. We're banging on the door soon. Actually, I've just realised it's 10:15. She'll probably be pissed off at that. How much is Mainu on? Has his contract been sorted? Mainu's on low wages, yo. Mainu is on low wages. I think he's on like 30k. How much is he on? How much? Sometimes when we touch. How much is Mainu on Wick? Mainu is on, sweating like a bastard here, 20 grand a week. Kobbie Mainu is on 20 grand a week. That is redonkulous. That is the definition of redonkadonk. No, Garnacho has to go. He's been posting things about signing for Chelsea already, and the deal is nowhere close yet. I love that. How can anyone conceive of a way back for Garner? He's burnt all his bridges. Go and open your vape shop, mate. I tell you what, there's got to be rival fans in here bantering, because 12% of you think there is a way back for Garnacho this summer. That's hilarious. I can't believe I'm reading that. 12% of you think that there is a way back for Garnacho this summer. That's fucking brilliant. Oh, dearie me. I think the majority of the fan base has already turned heel on Garnacho, so it would be best for him to leave than to try and stay here and redeem himself. This is a great comment, Kev, because I don't think there are many Chelsea fans that actually want this bozo. I don't think that there are many Chelsea fans that want him. I really, really don't. Yeah, not for me. Not for me. It's been a shame about Garnacho. He could have been a world beater, but his ego has got in the way. And this happens with kids. The best example I have to give of you is Ravel Morrison. Does anybody remember Ravel Morrison? So Alex Ferguson said he was going to be the next big thing. He had the ability to be anything he wanted to be. I remember in flashes for West Ham when he went there. He was incredible, but unfortunately, he couldn't get into the mindset of being a professional footballer. He had his vices. He had his bad ways, and it ended for him. And I think he's just signed for his 15th, 16th club. I don't know if there are any fans out there that would want him. I agree. I would rather have Greenwood back than Garnacho. Oh, that's a tough question, Jamie. I'd have to say I'd keep Garnacho, because that audio will stick in my mind forever with Greenwood. That audio will stick in my mind forever. I'd keep Garnacho over him. Mana United says, no way back for Garnacho, throwing the manager under the bus because he didn't start the final. This is true. This is true. Mason Green. Definitely not. Ravel Morrison, the Derby scum, still a fellow Jamaican, though, so fair enough. How are we looking on this vote, guys? Let's have a quick look. 84%. It's a landslide. I didn't expect anything less either, you know. I didn't expect anything less. Perfect. Right then, guys. Apologies for the stream tonight. I don't know what the fuck happened there. We're going to have to sort that out, because that keeps happening. And then I end up with anxiety when I go on the stream then, because I've sat there thinking, oh, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? But anyway, thank you very much for sticking with tonight. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe on your way out. I've been Dan United, Brian Brigade, Baleba Brigade, Benjamin Brigade, and more importantly, you beautiful people. I will see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Dan United, out.